Welcome to the Jerry Grave channel. The channel talks about narcissism and everything in between. I want to go ahead and jump straight into the topic. But first, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. And all my day oneers, hit that like button even before the video starts. Let's jump into it. I've been experimenting with how to counter other people who are sending bad body language towards you. I guess I read like a long time ago that politicians even have a hard time dealing with people who give like bad body language towards them, like the sneers from across the room and certain contemptuous looks. It's like even politicians have a hard time. So it's very effective. It's a way to control people without having much resistance because it's harder to call out a look. It takes more balls to do that because it's just most people don't do it, and it's like everybody's trying to avoid conflict, and you're talking about something so small and innocuous as a certain look, and we got work to do here. Like, what are you doing? So that's the reason why these people do that. But our main form of communication is body language, and it's the most primitive and the most, I wouldn't say it's the most effective. I think talking is more effective, but it really is more effective than what people think. It's just, and actually people know that actually. So the thing is how do you counter that? If somebody's got the contemptuous smirk, or them staring and things like that, like how do you counter it? And I've done a lot of different things. I feel as though like one of the easiest ways to do it is just to avoid their area of influence. If they're standing in a certain place, you go all the way around it, depending on the circumstances. If everybody's focused on something, then it really doesn't matter as much. Now, if that doesn't work, what ends up happening is it's not necessarily the look that drives you crazy. Most people are driven crazy by just somebody staring at them, but that's not really the purpose for the look. It's more to communicate to other people how to treat you. So if you catch somebody staring at you, the what's going to happen is first the audience is going to look at them, and then they're going to look at you. And that's where you can do the most damage to that person, or the most defense, is when that the audience member, because you can't really control how other people are going to look at you and things like that, nor do you want to. You want people to display how they feel so that you can undermine them if they're going to attack you. So what you do is you give them a certain look back when the audience is about to turn to look at you. So one of the most effective looks is the eye roll, but the eye roll is a little bit too strong. If you're just straight rolling your eyes, like people can call that out because it takes a lot of energy to roll your eyes. People really don't. It's hard to even come up with an excuse for that. Like it can, you can, but it's just like it's clear that you were rolling your eyes at somebody. If you do that enough, and if you were to take that around the world, then people are going to confront you. So you want something a little bit softer, which is instead of straight rolling your eyes all the way back, you just look up. And this is actually a powerful technique. And the thing is that I learned this from watching an interview, and it's very interesting. Is that they were doing this interview with this rap group, and one of the members during the interview, like he answered a few questions, and all of a sudden he just starts looking up at the ceiling, and everybody else is doing the interview, and this guy, he just locks his eyes on the ceiling, and it just looked so disrespectful. And I don't believe that he was trying to do that. It was just like it looked so like wow, like you know what I mean. And it works, and so far it has worked for me. Just if I Especially if you see somebody who's about to give you, like, once you get good enough at studying people, you'll start to know when somebody's about to do that, and you can do this preemptively. And you just vary the amount of effort you put behind holding your eyes upward, because obviously the more upward you hold your eyes, the more effort and strain it takes on you. So then uh that's harsher. But if you look slightly above their head, then that's the much softer approach, and you can kind of vary how much you want to give them. And again, it goes back to when they look at the person who's staring at you or giving you a certain look, and then they turn and look at you and they see you giving that look, then it's like a counter to that, right? Instead of you being the victim, it's at least a neutral thing of they don't like each other. And it's kind of one of those things where it also shows that you just don't care. But another thing that I've noticed is when I do this, the person who's originally giving the look or doing the stare, they turn their eyes away quickly. And I believe it's because they don't want the audience to notice that you're looking at them like that. So this is just something that I wanted to put out there, just because there's so many ways to attack someone. We need to start brainstorming defenses, and I want to completely rid the world of all of this nonsense where people are being cruel and having an unjust world. So that's the reason why I do what I do. Thanks for watching. Peace.